Hi all, welcome back to the channel. Today we will talk about LLM Wiki. So Andrej Karpathy dropped a tweet. His idea: stop making LLMs reread your documents, make it compile them. He calls it LLM Wiki. And by the end of the video, you will make your own LLM Wiki. We will go through who and what is LLM Wiki exactly, the 3-tier architecture, the 3 operations. You will be building your own LLM Wiki. So I will be showing you a demo and you can basically follow. We will see RAG versus LLM Wiki. We will see the real comparison between them and we'll see why it matters. So let's start. Let's look at his tweet first. He's told that something he's finding useful recently is for LLM to build personal knowledge bases on various topics of research interest, using less of his tokens into manipulating code and more of his tokens into manipulating knowledge, which is stored as markdowns and images. So he told that the latest LLMs are very good at data ingest. So data ingest, basically he will have some source documents. So they can be articles, they can be papers, repos, datasets, images. You have to put that in raw directory and then LLM will be used to compile it. We will be using LLM to look at these source files into this raw directory, and then LLM will compile a wiki from the raw files in collection of MD files with directory structures, and it will also include backlinks. It will categorize them into concepts, write articles on them, links them all, and he uses this Obsidian web clipper extension to convert web articles into MD files. For IDE, basically for UI, he uses Obsidian to see the compiled wiki as a front end and derived visualization. And the important thing is LLM will write and maintains the data in the wiki. He will not even touch it. Once his wiki is big enough, so his wiki is approximately 100 articles and 400 keywords, he will ask his LLM complex questions against the wiki. It will go off and search the answers, and he didn't went for RAG because current LLMs are pretty good at maintaining index files and brief summaries of all the documents, and it reads all the important related data fairly easily. And instead of getting answer in text and terminal, he will render markdown files, and he will again put those markdown files into the LLM so that it will enhance LLM's response next time for the further query. So his own exploration and queries always adds up the knowledge base he has. One important thing is with this kind of setup, there are chances that hallucination may enter the knowledge base. If you are ingesting some query which came back from LLM to your knowledge base, there are chances that LLM has done some kind of hallucination there. If you are feeding that hallucinated file to your knowledge base, then it will reflect on everything. So linting is very essential here. It is kind of health check for the wiki, and this linting process is kind of a health check for our wiki, and it will find inconsistent data, missing data. It will find connection to new article candidates, and it will clean up your wiki and enhance data integrity. LLMs are very good at suggesting further questions to ask and look into. He has found it very interesting. He's also creating some web UI and some CLI for this. So once his tweet had a lot of views, he gave this LLM wiki. So basically you can go through this LLM wiki. I will be adding it to my description, and basically it's a template which you can just copy paste in your own agent. Say you have Claude or you have Codex, and you can just give it maybe GitHub Copilot. You can just give it, it will read it, and it will ask you questions about your knowledge base. Basically it is just a basic template file. By reading it, agent will understand what it has to do and what Karpathy has done, and it will create a similar project structure based on your needs. So it is not a fixed template like this folder structure should be there. It has to create that much of MD files and all, but it is just a template. By reading this, your LLM will understand that what it has to do, and you have to give it some more data about what kind of knowledge base you are building, and based on that it will take decision. What is exactly LLM Wiki? Here is the core idea which Karpathy used. Stop retrieving data every time you build a persistent and standard wiki once, and you keep it updated forever. Here, as you can see, he has taken a very beautiful thing thing which we have in software engineering is we will take the source code, we'll compile it once, and we will make a binary which will run every time, right? We will not do this process every time. The same idea it has used here in LLM wikis, where we have raw source file, right? And LLM will compile it instead of us, and it will create a wiki which is synthesized, interlinked, and always ready for us. And let's say we have new data, we can use that data to ingest again, and it will add a new connection, update new connections, delete the connection based on the contradictions and everything. It will do it itself. You don't have to do it. He told in his wiki, if you read that wiki, it is a persistent compounding artifact. So it will compound with every query you do, every raw artifact you add every day. You can tell it to ingest it. Every time you ingest something, it will compound. So let's see the next section, which is the 3-layer architecture. Layer 1 will be your raw source. This is your curated collection, your articles, your PDFs, your podcast notes, your images. These are the source of truth. Your LLM will only read it. It will never modify. This is immutable for your LLM. The next one is wiki. So LLM will own this wiki entirely. You will rarely have to do anything yourself. It will create entity pages. It will create concept pages. It will create overview pages. It will create an index file, a log file. It will create links. It will update them. It will maintain them. It will do everything. You have to rarely touch this. And the third layer is schema layer. It will be your Claude.md file or any kind of agents.md file. Basically, it will have the rules, the convention, workflows, and how to ingest queries. Basically, rules which will tell LLM how to behave. So this will be mainly written by you, or if you are using this wiki given by Andrej Karpathy, it will create the wiki, so you don't have to do it. Karpathy's own wiki reportedly grew around 100 articles and 400 keywords. This is fairly a small knowledge base, and it can handle it, and it is all maintained automatically. This layer is all maintained by the LLM itself. Karpathy rarely touches. Let's move on to the 3 operations. So what action you have to do is you have to ingest your raw data. First, you have to put all your curated corpus into this raw folder. It will ingest files either one by one or together based on whatever needs you have. So basically, you will drop the new source. LLM will read it, summarizes it, updates it, and create 10 to 15 wiki pages. And it will create wiki based on that. Okay, so this is a wiki created based on your ingestion. Then you can query it. Once you query something, LLM reads the wiki, synthesizes the answers, and then you can feed that result into it back, which will be added to your knowledge base, and it will compound with every query you do. Third thing you have to do is very essential, which is a health check, called as a linting operation. Basically, it will check the whole health of your wiki, find contradictions and orphans and stale data and links which are not even there, and it will correct itself. So it is very necessary process here because of this process we are doing, and it can contain hallucinations and it can ruin everything here. So linting is very necessary. Let's start with the demo. Here you can see I have 2 PDF files in my raw folder, and I'm using Claude. You can use any other agent and it will work with it. What I will be doing is I will be copying this whole wiki. So you can copy this and you can just paste it here. So once it is pasted, one more thing I want to do is I want to also paste a simple paragraph I have already written. Basically, in this paragraph I am saying that I want Claude to read this lines of wiki I pasted by Andrej Karpathy and help me set up this LLM wiki in this directory. And before it does anything, it will ask me about what sources I plan to feed it, and once I answer, it will write me a Claude.md schema file based on my answer. So let's hit enter. It will process for some time, and I will be back once it is done. It is asking me some questions. It is asking what is this wiki about and what sources do I plan to feed. Here is my answer. It's going to be a wiki about AI and the philosophy of software, and I will feed it short essays and blog posts from people like Rich Sutton and Andrej Karpathy, probably 10-20 sources over time, and standard page types, concept pages, essay summaries. I am telling it what I am feeding and what this wiki will be all about. Let's see what it does. Make sure you put this accept edits on if you don't want to get interrupted again and again. It has stopped, and it is asking me to start ingesting. Drop an essay into raw and say ingest.filename.md. Okay, let's see what it has done basically with that file. So with that file, it read that it understood almost everything. It understood LLM Wiki concept. Then it asked me some basic questions. I answered it, and then it knows that you have to create a raw, and it has written claude.md based on my answer here as we told it to do. It has wrote claude.md, and it has shown the whole structure it has created: log, authors, concept, essays. I will say ingest. It has given me summary about the PDF I gave. It gave me the core thesis, the evidence, the second point, and the concepts he will create the pages for the author, right? And it asked me anything I want him to emphasize, reframed, or to be left out, anything which I need it to not have in those wiki. Or it told me should he go ahead and write all this, and I told him to go ahead of now. And it is creating basically bunch of MDs now. As you can see, it is updating the log file, it is update the Claude file, and with the sources ingested one and wiki pages how much it has added. Okay? So it is done with it. What I want to show you is Obsidian UI, what Andrej Karpathy was talking about. This is the Obsidian UI Andrej Karpathy was talking about. My all wiki pages are here, and here in the graph view I can see connections between my MD files, which is fully created by my LLM. Claude.md and log.md files doesn't have any relation to anything because they are independent, and other index file it has created which has connection to everything. It's in just the next PDF. Even though I didn't give this folder, it knows that it has to be ingested by something in raw directory. The source folder or source of truth will be in my raw directory, so it has taken that as default, found the file, and it has given me some summary about it. The core thesis, the new concepts, cross wiki connections between those previous PDF and current PDF, and he is writing everything now. So once it is done with everything, it will update the log file and everything. We will see the updated graph view from Obsidian, and we will see the whole structure of wiki. It is done with the processing. It has created a bunch of files. What it is showing, it has updated claude.md, that is has ingested 2 sources and the number of wiki pages it created. It also added a log in the log file, and it created bunch of MD file, right? Let's see the Obsidian view. So you can see the view has been updated, the index file has been updated, the Claude and log file are still independent entities, and there is some connection between these 2 PDFs. There is some connection between the concepts they both have. I don't want to go deep into the connections as of what. To just show you what it can do, I have a question I wanted to answer based on the knowledge gathered. How do Sutton and Karpathy agree about the future of software, and where might they agree? So if you see this question, this needs synthesis of both the PDFs. So it should know about both the PDFs, should have some connection between them, and it will be able to get it because it has created the whole bunch of connections between both the knowledge sources. You can see bunch of links between them. So let's see what it answers. It has replied me back. As you can see, it is reading the relevant wiki pages to ground the answers, and it has given me where they agree and where they disagree. If you want, you can go deep into these answers and everything, but it is just a demo. You can have it for anything, any knowledge base you can create, but make sure that the number of pages are of small scale, like 100 pages, 200 pages. Use it for your own deep research instead of general research. Let's go to the next section. This is our next section, which is RAG versus LLM Wiki, the real comparison. I will go through the most basic thing here. I won't bore you going through all of this. You can read it yourself by pausing it if you want. But the main thing is neither of them wins. They solve a completely different problem. Basically, you will use RAG when you have millions of documents, and that will change constantly. You need precise citations to an exact chunk. Think customer support, maybe legal search, maybe enterprise fact lookup. LLM Wiki here is great when you have bounded curated corpus, maybe few hundred sources of static knowledge and research papers, articles, books you are reading, courses you are studying, your own journal. So here where synthesis matter more than retrieval, you will use this LLM Wiki. If your retrieval is more priority than your synthesis, you will use RAG. If you are looking for less tokens, this is basically a better option. But currently everyone has some tokens and can use them for knowledge base. You can use this, okay? And if you have less curated sources, like you can use this. If you have large sources, this guy will fail. So It is better for large data and it is better for small data. One more thing I want to discuss is LLM can hallucinate. When you are using your query results as the data ingest to make your knowledge more compounding, hallucination can get baked into facts. It can ruin the whole wiki. For that we have lints. So lints will be very helpful there. Hallucinations here will be only local to answer, and here it can ruin everything if you don't lint it regularly. Okay, here fresh data is always reread. If you want to do update new data, you will have to re-ingest, or you have to ingest the updated data. Okay, let's move on to the next section, which is why it matters. It is really not about wikis. It is more about a deeper shift. Karpathy is pointing something whenever Bush described in 1945 as MEMEX, which is your memory extender. The idea was a personal curated knowledge store where connection between documents are as valuable as the document itself. Karpathy has made something similar. Previously, we had some concerns because of that we cannot make it, which is people don't want to do all these things like bookkeeping, updating your cross references, and they don't want to be get buried into all these hassle. That's why this meme X was not created. Now we have LLM to do this. They won't get bored. They can not forget any cross reference. They can work on 15 files at a time. We have a capability of doing that. So why don't we do this now? So the tedious part, which was handling on hassle of all these things, are solved now. So we can completely focus on thinking instead of filing. We can focus on the knowledge store. We can build our second brain, because LLM will be bookkeeping it and we will be compounding it every time we ask a query or re-ingesting some data, asking it the relevant articles which we can add as a next contender. We can do that, and it can use web to lint and everything. If you want to try it yourself, links to Andrej Karpathy's original gist, his tweets are there in the description. You can follow him. He is super dope, and every day he gives something new to the community basically. And you can comment what would you build a personal wiki for. I am very curious what people will actually create this personal knowledge for, so you can help me. If this explanation helped, a like and subscribe will genuinely help the channel. See you in the next video. Happy coding.